Greetings, I'm Matti Mali aka Hydrostic Actor, and I've never been a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Why would I've been? It stars a 15-year-old animal with attitude who never accepted that the 90s ended. Also a string of underwhelming games, stupid plots that take themselves way too seriously, and a notoriously obnoxious fanbase certainly haven't helped things. That being said though, Sonic's cultural influence cannot be denied. He was basically the first of his kind back in 1991 and most likely invented fast-paced platforming. And despite all of its quality dives, people still keep returning to the series. When the 2010 title Sonic Colors got good reviews, I was mildly curious to see what Super Mario's most fiercest rival had to offer, and so I decided I need to experience at least one game in the franchise, namely its most highly acclaimed title, Sonic Generations.
As the release year 2011 success, Generations was made to celebrate Sonic's 20th anniversary, bringing out stages from all the 9 previous main series games. The director is Hiroshi Miyamoto, whose only other directorial work is Mario & Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, and as the writers are Ken Pontac and Warren Graff, who have written every main series game of 2010s and whose other well-known work is the cult gore cartoon Happy Tree Friends.
Due to celebrating history, the video game starts very atypically for a modern game. Just press new game and BAM! You're a blue hedgehog! Find your purpose!
This is indeed our title character in his younger days, running across the first game's iconic Green Hill Zone and introducing one of the 2 playstyles of the game. Classic style is meant to emulate the Sega Mega Drive console era's 2D platformers, though from what I gathered they have somewhat changed the feel of it, but I don't remember how exactly. I'll get more into detail about the gameplay later as the plot arrives! Meanwhile, the future Sonic, played by Roger Craig Smith, is celebrating his 16th birthday. I think. I have no idea how the continuity in this series works.
Happy birthday, Sonic! Hope you like this.
Like it? I love it!
You may think that Silly Dog with special sauce is a lame gift, but when you're a forest animal who does world saving as a hobby, what more would you ask from life?
But alas, the party is interrupted by the arrival of Time Eater, that imprisons Sonic and his friends into an endless white void. There Sonic sends up to Green Hill Zone via Time Portal, and we get a taste of the second playstyle of the game. Modern style is apparently a mixture of the 2.5D platforming from Colors and running-based 3D platforming from an earlier title, Unleashed. Key differences are that instead of jumping on the robotic enemies, you dash at them from air, which also highlights level progression's faster pacing. It's easy to see why these games are popular because damn, this speed is exhilarating! Eventually Sonic reaches the level goal which magically frees his best friend, a child prodigy Miles Prower aka Tails, played by Kate Higgins.
Is it me, or is that place we were just in awfully familiar?
Not to me. But this place looks like something sucked all the life and color out of it. Totally strange.
No stranger than rescuing genies in magic books or saving aliens in an interstellar amusement park. I'm more concerned about finding our friends.
Some people have complained the voice acting to be of poor quality, but I don't hear it. They sound fine to me. Then again, I can make a proper judgment of the voice work because most of the characters don't have much to say.
That's the basic gist of it. Sonic's past and future selves go through 3 courses from 3 Sonic eras in order to free his friends. The Mega Drive era's other stages are Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sky Sanctuary Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Ed Knuckles, which is my personal favorite. I'm sure you noticed by now how gorgeous this game is, but all the remixed music from previous titles have a nice beat to it. Even though I'm not usually a fan of Dreamcast era's rock strumming. All the levels are designed well too, giving multiple pathways to the goal and occasionally giving other interesting side activities.
How does it control then? I use keyboard, like I always do, and while I sometimes forgot which button was which, the controls were smooth and responsive. Most of the time.
What made classic stages less enjoyable than modern ones was Bass Sonic's floaty jumps. It often felt like he slid a bit when hitting ground, and there were unclarity on how much do I need to press jump button in order to get him where I want. Modern style doesn't get through with clean records either, as I never learned how these tight turns are made. Maybe gamepad would actually work better here. While the game did do a fairly good job at teaching its mechanics, there were a couple of more cryptic ones, like in this challenge stage where despite pressing the A button, Tails didn't always respond to that.
Indeed, challenges. Completing 3 sessions opens 10 challenge missions for all of them, 5 per character, and you have to complete at least 3 of them to unlock the next big boss. These bring more variation to gameplay, like racing against a doppelganger, have one of Sonic's friends either help or compete with him, and most of them are stellar fun. They also introduce power-ups like bubble shield and electricity protection, but oddly they're never needed in the main stages, making them, well, kind of pointless. But let's move on in the story where the two Sonics finally meet.
Take a good look at yourself, Sonic.
Dr. Eggman?
It's the last look you'll get before I close your eyes forever.
Another Sonic? What? Wait a second!
Yeah, for some reason past Sonic is completely mute. Apparently they didn't get the voice actor they wanted or something. I guess the in-universe explanation for this is... maybe he just took the advice if you don't have anything smart to say, don't say anything at all a little too far. However, it's time for Sonic to face his arch nemesis, as deliciously having Mike Pollock plays Dr. Ivor Robotnik, aka Eggman, a mad scientist hell-bent on conquering the world!
Here Eggman pilots Death Egg robot that he used during the final battle of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and majority of the 7 bosses are blasts from the past. They aren't all that well designed though. For example, a Dreamcast era boss Shadow the Hedgehog is a cool concept but can be defeated way too easily. Otherwise the bosses are challenging yet fair, with the modern era including my favorite from the bunch.
The exception to this is the last battle, which many have called to be the worst final boss in any Sonic game. I have faced worse, but it was a confusing fight because the game did a bad job at explaining its patterns and often gave contradicting information.
After Eggman has been beaten into submission, the Time Eater arrives and sucks him up! And that's how the rest of the game goes. The heroes get Chaos Emeralds, thus opening the next bunch of 3 stages, and Sonic saves more of his friends who have only a handful of lines that aren't nearly enough to build anyone's personality. The Dreamcast era consists of Speed Highway from Sonic Adventure, City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2, and Seaside Hill from Sonic Heroes, and they mostly keep with a strong level design. Though I found past Sonic's Seaside Hill to have way too many tight shots.
The last era modern features levels from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Colors, but in order to see material from those, support the original release. Or just watch any other video review of this in YouTube. Or the official trailers. All in all, Sonic Generations is a good video game. Not great, but good.
The story is bare bones and reeks wasted potential, but to be fair, this came out only a year after Colors, so the developers probably didn't have time to craft anything fancier and just wanted to make sure the gameplay would be as good as possible. On everything else, Generations delivers. It's a pleasure to look at, pleasure to listen to, and its gameplay based on flow lulls you into adrenaline-fueled nirvana. Sure, there were control issues and occasional glitches, but nothing too severe. While the game didn't make me a fan of the franchise, I understand better why so many people are.
However, if you want a game that does better job at world building and character development, I recommend... Well, I'm not a Sonic the Hedgehog connoisseur, so unfortunately I can't help you there. Next time I'll review... a series. Until then, thanks for your time.